Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot Warped on the Sony PlayStation. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to finish off this game once and for all by going into the remaining 3 levels and clearing these out, alongside a couple of extra stages that I am yet to show off. But first things first, let's head on into the very first one here, Ski Craze, which, believe it or not, isn't the last skateboarding? Isn't the last wave race sort of level type in the game. We actually do have another one coming up later on. But this, after the main levels we're going to be progressing into, this is basically the last one we'll be tackling. And I could do the time relic now, while I'm also getting the box gem. I'm not going to do that because I haven't got the patience for it. Instead, I'm going to focus on getting the box gem first. And I'll manage the time relic when I'll do it off screen, basically, so you guys don't have to worry too much about that. Now, when it comes to this final warp room here, a lot of the major items that you're going to be wanting to pick up, like a lot of the relics and whatnot, I usually actually recommend trying to get the relics first time in each of these stages, with the exception of pretty much the sole exception of this level, because this is the only level where it's a little bit more awkward to get both the gem and the relic. And as you can probably tell by the fact these are levels after the fact we got all of the crystals in the game. There's no crystals in these stages. Everything we pick up in these levels is, I completely went past that ramp. The only thing we get to pick up in these stages are basically gems and relics, you know, ladies and gentlemen. So this is basically the last stretch again, everything getting 100% completion. And the relics that we will be picking up, they are 100% optional. I don't even think they really do count towards getting 100% completion. Jesus Christ, will you get the sodding box? Hui. Because I think that 100% completion only really applies with the relics and, not the relics, the crystals and the gems, while the relics will give you the extra 4% completion rating. Unless, of course, you get the gold relics and above, then you can get 105% completion rating. But as I said in the previous part, I really do not recommend doing things that way. My face. Oh yeah, I really don't recommend going out of your way to pick up the gold relic, because your rewards, it's really not worth it in my opinion. But I will explain what the actual reward is when we actually get around to that point in time. What can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? But because this is technically the final water ski level of the game, this is still probably the hardest one to go through. You know, it's the hardest one to go and get all the boxes in, and generally you need to be careful. You need to think very, very, very carefully about every single jump you make. You need to be careful and take your time. If you don't take your time, then you will probably die trying to get these boxes. That's all I'm really saying. Although, I will say it is fairly simple to get the, God damn it. I wasn't expecting to actually bounce off that bomb then. It's actually very simple to get hold of the relics in these stages as well, because of, generally the relics that you actually pick up, the best way to really get them in these stages is to not let go of the cross button. Do not let go of the accelerator, and you should get through these without too much trouble. But, you know, if you're trying to get the gems and the relics in one go, which is possible, it's just not recommended in this one. That's the general gist. Although I will say I absolutely love the way the stage looks, like the sort of red glowy water with the sunset in the background. It looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. What can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What can I tell you? Indeed. Yes. Oh, it's too close for comfort. One thing that this stage really does piss me off with, though, is the camera is actually atrocious. There's not many instances in this game where I'll say the camera is completely terrible. Like, I'll always say that, like, the backtracking is less than ideal, but in these levels, or specifically this level, this is where the camera becomes your enemy, because there is no way to reset the camera behind you automatically. The only way to set the camera behind you is to turn around and press the accelerator, which means you can easily get clipped by like an off-screen bomb or something while you're turning around, and if you make a mistake and you miss a couple of boxes, you know, you will find yourself turning around a hell of a lot, and it's not a pleasant time. That's all I'm really getting at, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, this is one of those stages that's, you know, you take things as slow as possible, and you should get through just fine. The downside is this is probably one of the longest levels in the game to complete, give or take. Yeah, I'll say this is probably one of the longest levels in the game to complete, because it's just a little bit annoying, really. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Indeed. Like, for example, stuff like that will happen all the time, where you have to make the jump twice because there was a second box you couldn't quite clip. Oh, come on, turn around, there we go. Right, let's do this. Oh my god. Come on, there we go. I don't like these last couple of jumps back here. They are not fun in the slightest. Like, seriously, I like this level, don't get me wrong. It's just getting the box gem is just a really, really, really treacherous task, and it's really frustrating to do. But I'd probably say that's the same thing with... Oh my god! I'd probably say that's the same issue with all of these final warp room levels, because they are all just an absolute nightmare to get all of the boxes, but I digress. Oh, there we go, that's more like how it's done. I missed one box. Seriously, getting all these boxes and getting the box gem it's just the worst in this stage. Like, apart from this stage is honestly easy peasy. It's easy to get through, but getting this box gem is an absolute pain in the ass. Let's try this again. There we go. Oh, I missed the box. Like, the big issue is mainly because of those ramps, because you'll find yourself having to jump off the ramps constantly as you're trying to get these, and you need to be pretty damn good at really aiming properly, and the problem is the aiming is a little bit imprecise at times, I find, so it's a little bit awkward, and sometimes then you need to manage your speed properly as well, because sometimes your speed won't be sufficient enough to be able to make the jump, so you need to manage your speed in a specific way to get just basically make the jump, and it's honestly an absolute nightmare. Like, but there, I could have probably got that box without any issue in that one instance, but I panicked, and the big problem is when you panic, you know, it's chances are you're going to bail on a jump and then completely fluff it up and have to redo the jump again, you know, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, I should be good enough. Oh, God, that's too close for comfort. I'm not even going to take the ramp there. Although we are getting close to the final stretch of this now, ladies and gentlemen. So for these final couple of ramps, I advise just taking things slowly and go around them. Avoid them entirely. And with that, we missed a box. Right, there we go. I basically had to backtrack all the way to pretty much the halfway point of the stage, but there's that box I missed. Ugh. How did I forget I missed that? Did I just not... Whatever, I'll just grab it now. There we go. Right, now time to get to the end of the stage without dying. Oh, this'll be fun. There we are. I don't know how I managed to make it through without too much issues, but there we go. But there's that level done and dusted. Like, there's an example of why that's one of the harder ones to do in this game, because what you'll find is you'll usually just miss one box and then have to backtrack throughout the whole thing, and of course if you die then half of your progress will also get completely removed, so it's a little bit annoying in that regard, but I'm gonna go back in now and actually get the time relic of the stage, and I should catch you guys in a sec. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we gotten hold of the time relic. I didn't do as well as my first time doing it on my test run, but oh well. The stage is a little bit tricky when you're trying to get the time relic, because the waves can really screw you over. So the best thing to sort of keep an eye out is try your best to manage the waves, because you'll know sometimes the waves will be a little erratic. And suddenly you'll find yourself just sort of... what's the word I'm looking for here? You'll find yourself just jumping randomly because of it, and it's really annoying. What can I tell you? But anyway, it's time to head on into the last motorcycle stage of the game, and basically all of these 3 final stages are gimmick levels, by the way. I'm just gonna already say that. And this is going to be interesting this time around, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to be going for the time relic first, because this stage, to get the gems and the time relic and all that jazz, is really annoying, so I'm going to try and get everything I can my first time through. I won't be going for the box gem on my first time through. I'll be revisiting the stage with that, because I have my own bit of advice I can give, but generally, when it comes to this level in particular, the best bit of advice I can give you is watch out, because there are tons and tons of pitfalls you can't really see coming up properly. And the best sort of thing you can do is stay as close to the center of the road as possible, because it makes things so much easier to dodge that's coming up in front of you. And the pitfalls are only ever in the left and right hand sides of the road. They are never in the... Well, I've just screwed that over, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to restart this. But basically, the pits are only in the left and right-hand sides of the road. They'll never be in the center. So that's the best way to avoid them. So, and I'm back. Alright, so, as I was saying, yeah, just keep to the center of the road as much as possible. And as you can clearly tell with this stage in particular as well, there's going to be loads of police cars coming from the left and right-hand sides of the road. So, you also need to watch out for them, but for the most part, you know, general rules from the previous racing missions still apply, you know, and the thing is, though, with this stage is kind of tricky, because there are 2 ways to get gems. Like, you get the initial gem by beating these UFOs in the race, and the second gem, obviously, by collecting the box gem. But what's kind of weird is, if you manage, the time to beat these guys is so tight. Like, if you manage to beat these guys in a race, you basically guaranteed yourself a time relic. That's how tight the time is to actually do this, and how difficult this can actually be to accomplish. And for many people, this is the worst stage in the game. Like, I don't have nearly as much trouble in this as most people do with this particular one, but I know for a fact people hate this stage, and honestly, it's understandable, because it is one of the hardest levels out there, you know, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to be pretty much perfect with almost every movement you make in order to get the time relic. You need to be perfect with every movement you make in order to get hold of the first place prize. But bada bing, bada boom, there we go. And I'm going to redo the stage to get the second gem, but we should actually have the relic now. And yeah, we got a gold one. Oh, nice. That's better than I did last time. Oh, neat. But basically, it's such a tight race, and chances are you're going to have troubles with it. I'm surprised I managed to get that first try on live recording. Well, second try on live recording, because I did crash into a police car, but I digress. But anyway, I will be cutting ahead most of me getting the box gem, but I do want to show off a little bit of it, because I do want to explain the best way to get this box gem. And this is tedious, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pre-warn you now. This is a very tedious way to get the gem, but this is the safest way and more surefire way you're actually going to get the box gem. All you want to do? Drive slow. Just drive as slow as possible, stay to the center of the road, and collect every box. It's the only way. It's the easiest way to get the box gem in this one. And this is really tedious and boring to watch, so I'm going to catch you guys once I actually got this thing. So, yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back with the gem. Okay. That actually went by a lot quicker than I expected, honestly. I was really expecting to have, well, a hell of a lot more trouble with that stage. But no, it went past pretty damn simple, which I'm happy about. But there we go. There's another one in the bag, which leaves us to the final non-secret level of the game, which is an interesting take on, if you recall, we had flying levels earlier on in the game. It's an interesting take on that, but many people may not actually know this, but the actual name of the stage, Rings of Power, is actually a reference to one of Naughty Dog's pre-Crash Bandicoot games. I don't know if it's a good game, but hey, there's a reference to it, so there we go. But the big gist of this one is, this is basically a massive air race. You need to fly through rings, and whenever you get up to a ring, make your grab. There we go. Whenever you go up to a ring, you're going to want to do a barrel roll in order to speed up. And generally, the stage is tricky. Very, very tricky, because the plane itself is, as you can tell by the fact I completely missed that ring, really sluggish to control, which means this can actually take a good bit of time to do, but you know, if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to get a handle of things and get through things without too much issue. Generally, I think it's best to lead you like sort of lead what your aim with your plane before you actually reach the ring. That's the best sort of advice I can sort of give to things. And what you're gonna find as well is pressing the X button, the cross button, will be very, very handy as well in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Because what you find is the cross button is actually a brake. This isn't actually told you anywhere in the game, by the way, but trust me, it's a brake, and it's very handy to know that you can... make it. It's very handy to know that you can brake by pushing the button. That's mainly what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, you know? I really hope me going through that ring there didn't screw me out or something, because this is a very temperamental level. Like, sometimes you can get through this without any effort whatsoever. Other times, you know, the stage wants you dead. So, it can be very, very, very frustrating to get through at times, and I have no idea if I actually got to the time relic then, because I'm pretty sure the time relic is kind of touchy to get hold of in this one, so we'll find. No, I did get it! Okay, neat, I got it the first time. Oh, there's some worries out of my back then. I'm actually surprised at that. But of course, by coming in first place, we also get the normal gem as well, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we're not quite done with that stage just yet, ladies and gentlemen. We just need to go back in and shoot down all of the balloons, the carrying boxes. You guys don't need to see that. It's just a matter of going through the stage as slowly as possible and aiming and shooting things, and it's kind of slow and repetitive, so I'm gonna do that quickly now, and I'll just see you guys in a minute. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, there's the final gem in the bag for us, and that's basically pretty much everything in Crash Bandicoot 3 done and dusted for the most part. We do have 2 more stages to go into, though, ladies and gentlemen, which I will be showing off after we do the one last thing, because as you can tell by here, there's no more levels. The level select is gone. We can't actually jump into any more stages from this point onwards, because as far as the game is concerned, we've just got 100% completion, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, it's time to head on back into Neo Cortex's lair and take the good doctor down yet again, ladies and gentlemen. And we're basically done with the game. Like, you know, we're basically at the end game. So let's just pop on over to the final warp room here and lay the smack down onto Cortex once again.
Yes, it is true. The Bandicoot has brought all of the crystals and all of the gems to me. Ultimate power is mine. The world as we know it is about to end.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say, Uka Uka. I'm really doubted because, well, first things first, you need to beat me to get the gems and the crystals. What can I tell you? But anyway, now this boss fight is exactly the same as it was the first time around, so I'm basically going to cut past a lot of it because we've already fought him once already. So I'll see you guys at the end of the... at the end of the boss. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have now effectively finished Crash Bandicoot Warped.
It cannot be! Not a prisoner of time again!
The Time Twister machine could not hold itself together. We were lucky to escape.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically it for Crash Bandicoot 3. Also, you might think, as I said already, we do actually have 2 more levels to completely go through in this game, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm actually going to show off now. Now, first things first, we're going to need to pop on over to the 3rd warp room of the game, because there are 2 specific levels in this warp room that have alternate exits, including Road Crash. And if we go over here, I believe, there we go, Dynamite. That's a very, I almost got that platinum relic, Jesus. Anyway, what we want to do is actually go into the gem path of Dynamite first, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to meet you guys there. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, well, we are now on the yellow gem path on the stage. Now, oh god, that was quick. What we are looking out for here, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2nd pterodactyl on the pathway here. And what we're going to want to do is actually jump into the 2nd pterodactyl, and we'll be transported into another stage. How are we meant to figure this out? You're not. I think the only way you can figure this sort of stuff out is from game magazines. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to level whatever the stage is, Agapus Rex, and this is basically it's a simple little challenge level where we need to get to the end of the stage, get the last time relic, and it's a stage basically focusing on the little Yoshi fella by here. Now, in the American version, before I start off the actual time trial quickly, the American version of the stage is actually bugged, so you can actually get the platinum relic in this without any effort whatsoever. I'm playing this on the European copy because obviously I'm in Europe. So basically it's a little bit harder for me to get the relic than it would probably be for you American cousins, if you will. So without any further ado, let's begin. And this stage by here is basically get to the end, follow the routes of the sorting Wumpa Fruit, and just jump as far as possible and as quick as possible. You do not want to lose this this dinosaur if you're playing this game on the European version, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because this is basically the only way you are fast enough when you're jumping to be able to get hold of the relic, basically, ladies and gentlemen. It's an odd, not that strict a time limit, I don't think, because you know, you can still take your time for the most part, but you do need to go at a pretty brisk pace, and the only way to ensure that you're going to go at that fast enough pace is to keep this dinosaur on you at all times. And that basically involves you having to wait the time you jump through the steam coming over platforms and whatnot, and it's a little bit tricky. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit tricky, and you do need to watch out for these pterodactyl goons as well that are in your path. Of course, you can also hurt them and jump on them, but see, I wasn't nowhere near fast enough to get the actual time relic with this. So, I'm going to have to revisit that stage to get the time relic, but basically that's the general gist of the idea, you know, you go through the stage as quick as you can, bada bing, bada boom, and that's all there is to it. And of course we do get an extra gem that isn't actually on the counter, because the game only counts 42 gems. What we picked up is, well, it's the 43rd gem. Now, the gem count will go up every time you get a new gem from now on, so when I get 44 gems, that'll increase to 44. But, yeah, we got over 100% completion. It's like these levels aren't actually designed to be played properly. Like, they aren't... You don't actually need these for 100% completion. Getting through these stages are entirely, 100% optional. But I like to anyway, because we do get a nice Easter egg for, getting these done. So, I'll see you guys once I've gotten that time relic. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, we got the time relic of that stage. Now, it's really annoying actually revisiting these levels to get the things you missed in the first time round, because it's just really inconvenient, because you have to go through the secret entrance to the stage over again just to get into it. But now it's time to enter Road Crash and gain access to the final stage of the game, the final secret level of the game, which honestly I'm not too fond of. I don't like it too much, because there is the best way I can sort of explain it is it's so non-linear and so different compared to every other stage in the game that it's really not that good a level, I don't think. I'm really not too fond of it. But what we are looking out for by here, ladies and gentlemen, is an alien sign on the left hand side of the road. When you see it, run into it and you'll be warped into the next stage, Hot Cocoa, which is, believe it or not, the final it's the final sort of jet boat, whatever the hell type of thing stage it is, but in the game. But it's again, like I said, it's a little bit different because it's probably the most non-linear level in the entire game. And this stage can take upwards to about 20 minutes to complete, depending on how lucky you get in terms of searching for these boxes, because, well, the actual exit of the stage is behind me. I have to basically find the... Ooh, that's too close to the Nitro's comfort. I need to find the box to destroy these Nitro crates and come back here, and that's how I get through the stage. Now, there's two ways I can handle this. I can either go after all of the boxes now and then do the time relic afterwards, or do the time relic now and do the boxes afterwards. I'm not going to show me again all the boxes, because that's way too long and way too tedious, but I will show you guys how to get the time. I'll show myself getting the relic for you guys, because it's the quickest way to get the stage done and dusted. Basically, we need to find the right point, then come back, and it's all about learning the actual landmarks of the stage. Once you figure out the stage's landmarks, you can get through things just fine. That's mainly what it's about. So what I recommend is, for the most part, stick to the outer skirts of the level as much as possible, because the actual thing we're looking for is on the outskirts. It's not in the inner parts of the stage itself, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And as you'll see, the boxes throughout the stage are seemingly randomly placed throughout the course of the entire area, because, well, truth be told, they're randomly placed everywhere. There's no real rhyme or reason to where the boxes are located, which is why I'm not going to show me collecting the box gem, because it's so tedious. But basically, all we need to do is drive across here, bada bing, bada boom. Here's the... I missed the sodding... Oh, here we go with the ramps. I hate these sodding things. Now we just need to get onto the ramp and... oh my god! Hit the things so I can get back to the beginning. Oh my god, this... oh, why? Oh, it's frustrating, but that's generally the general gist of the stage, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So now that I've actually managed to hit the switch, it took me way too many tries to do that, by the way. We just basically need to head all the way back to the beginning of the stage over again. And like I said, I'm not too fond of this level. It's an interesting little different stage to end the game on, but you know, I advise you guys to try this one out yourselves, because this is probably going to be one of those stages you either love or you hate because of how differently it's designed, because it's very it is a very, 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 very ridiculously open stage, and your enjoyment will depend entirely on how much you enjoy exploring this. A lot of the boxes don't show up as soon as I would like, which is why I'm not too fond of it, because it means I usually find myself just wandering for ages, which I'm going to actually do off screen. But yeah, that's basically every stage in the game done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. Jesus Christ, that took long enough. I've been in this stage for way too long for my own good. Oy. And there's the final gem in the bag. And I know the stage is a bit of a sour note to end out Crash Bandicoot 3 on, but honestly, it's a perfect example of why I prefer Crash Bandicoot 2 overall. Like, Crash Bandicoot 2 is a more consistent game. I know I said at the beginning of the LP I'm probably going to fluctuate my opinion of this game a lot, and it's largely because this game has... the highs are better than Crash 2, but I always consider the lows to be much worse than Crash 2 as well. So, I don't know, this game sort of has its ups and downs, I suppose, but it's still a fantastic time. But with that, we have actually completed everything in the entire game. We have all 104 complete rating, and there is actually a way to get 105 complete. 105% completion. I'm not doing that, because that involves getting gold relics on every single stage of the game, and I don't have the patience for that. But basically what you do is you do that, you talk to, well, you walk up to Coco here, she'll give you the last gem, and there you go, you get 105% completion. That's how you do it. But before we end things off, I have got one last little Easter egg to really show you off, ladies and gentlemen, in Toad Village nonetheless, when we reach the the third part of the stage. So, no, not third part, the third house of this level on the right. You'll see, you'll see, you'll all see. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is Fake Crash, and this is a character that's actually quite prevalent in the Crash Bandicoot franchise, basically after this point. And he's actually a bit of a decent Easter egg, you know, ladies and gentlemen, where essentially he's based off a cheap Japanese toy that came out many moons ago, around the time just before Crash Bandicoot 3 was released, and Naughty Dog thought it would be a fun idea to introduce him into the games, and he's only visible in these stages after you get 104 or more completion of the game, you know, ladies and gentlemen, which is a big reason why I wanted to go and get even the secret stuff done. But that's not the only location you can find Fake Crash either. In fact, Fake Crash can also be found over here in the middle of level 5, making waves. It's just doing his little his not crash dance on the island here, and yeah, it's kind of neat. You know, I absolutely love the fact that he's become such a prevalent character in the franchise after this point as well. Like, you know, the Crash franchise did fall basically down a pit after a point in terms of quality, you know. I'm glad this is one of the things they did keep into the franchise, and I'm glad that Naughty Dog just added him in here as a neat little Easter egg, you know, it's pretty cool. But in other versions well, basically in non-US versions of the game as well, Fake Crash even, can be found in another stage. In level 8 Hog Ride, you can actually see Fake Crash dancing on the side of the road by here too as well, which is pretty damn neat, and yeah. This, for some reason, this one by here, this location of him, isn't actually available in the US version of the game, and I have no idea why. It's beyond me. And if there are any other locations of Fake Crash in the game, I'm not actually sure if they are. These are the only ones I know of personally, but yeah, with that, that's basically the game done and dusted completely, ladies and gentlemen. We're 100% done with Crash Bandicoot Warped. And all in all, I just think it's an absolutely fantastic time. It's an absolutely fantastic game that I would actually recommend anybody go to the way to play. It's an amazing experience, and you know, it's a really good one, and I hope you guys enjoyed this LP. I know I enjoyed making it. I'm probably going to start doing more live stuff after this as well, because I actually really enjoyed doing this. But with that, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll catch you all again. Bye!
Give me the mask! With it I shall take over the world! Come on!
It is difficult to say what has happened to our enemies, but I doubt we will see them for a long time.